Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's mold, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely disgusting in here. Tune.
They don't know more.
Oh man. 2008 2500 round. I bet this thing's got a mold code.
I'm trying not to breathe.
Surprised there ain't mushrooms growing out of the seats. That's a stored code. Yeah, this thing's foobarred. Now it won't move in drive because I would just say the clutches most of the time the 68 will go like banjo up. Just they'll clamp that drum together. So I'm thinking those clutches are probably just banjoed up in that drum. And that's why this thing won't move forward at all. It's just, they got nothing. But in reverse, oh yeah, we ain't got reverse.
No, it's dead.
It's dead. So we're gonna have to finagle this thing down to the shop somehow. This is a moldy piece of shit. This thing's got a tail too. Check it out. Whoa! Oh wow. That's healthy. That's healthy. We're gonna take that off. Bluetooth. Now the freaking transmission ain't crooked like the other one was.
True that.
So it don't look like the engine's freaking cockeyed, looking like a dog's hind leg. Oh wow.
It was Bluetooth too.
Oh wow. They just Loctited it to the frame. Yeah, that's the really good design, guys. Now you always want to wear safety goggles and a hard hat when you're up under any vehicle. Out. Yank.
Dirty tranny fluid. It's like something you'd find at the car. There's a dude hunched over, folded in half on his laptop. Weak sauce. It sucks the testosterone out of the air when you walk in the building.
I guess what we weren't arguing about it, but I can't remember what it was. Gosh, you get mad at me every time I say it. You get all tuned up. Something about. Caught me now, dang it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe it'll come to me. I'm gonna flip this thing over so you guys watch your eyes. This stuff is disgusting. And you can see this fluid is really black. This transmission got extremely hot. Oh yeah, we got metal caked all in the pan here. See that here in the bottom?
Shredded.
Shredded up here. It stinks too.
Oh, it stinks.
It's bad. It smells like it overheated really bad. This filter here was starving. You can see it's kind of beveled in. That happens a lot. I don't know if you'll be able to get in there and see that or not. But
Sorry guys.
you got 6 8mm bolts here to hold on your valve body. And we're Not going to find anything right here, so we've got to get a little bit deeper into the transmission to find our issue, or at least our damage. Our valve body could be bad, but we'll establish that here later on this evening. A lot of times these solenoid packs go bad, and this metal gets onto the solenoid pack, it grounds it out. And a lot of times metal gets on this track here, it'll ground it out. A lot of times you won't be able to see the park neutral drive on your selector. And a lot of times it'll throw a P0718, I believe, don't quote me on that, a P0718 code. It's a rationality code, and it's within that solenoid pack there. You cannot get any metal on that whatsoever. So we're going to put this to the side for now and come back to it here in a minute. Little snap rings right here. Now fluid's going to come out here, so you need to have this somewhere where it's starting to come back and splash on your nuts. Like that.
Like that.
Clean up on aisle 10! Severick! Alright, here's your pump cover. Now here's your pump, and it has another 6 10mm bolts there. Now we're hoping this pump vacuum tests, but I'm not holding my breath on it, but judging by the way that this fluid looks pretty rough, Cody.
No, it's pretty, and it's pretty dark.
It's pretty dark. This thing got hot.
I wish there was a way for you guys to be able to smell what the really burned up transmission fluid smells like.
We'll take this apart here in a little while. We got to test this in the vacuum tester, and we got to test the valve body on the vacuum tester as well. Perhaps we'll do a video of that, of testing this pump and the valve body. If you guys want to see that, leave a comment. Now these drums just slide out together. Then you have a little bearing in here that you want to watch for. We're going to go set this over on our inspection table. And I did pull this bearing off. I never ever wash these. They're notorious for going bad and overheating and destroying the whole unit. So don't ever put these in your parts washer with water. Always spray them off with brake cleaner and re-lube these when you go back in to assemble your transmission. Now your center support here can be a little bit tricky. Now that's got to go in there one way. Flat side faces down, you got a beveled end that faces up, and it's got to go in here just like this into the case. Oh yeah. A bearing here, and this is how you set your in play. You can see the discoloration there, how that's starting to get dark. Normally these are kind of green. You can see the difference right there. The color difference here, that got really hot. So this one. Here's your lower planetary housing here. Another bearing here. We'll take this apart in just a second. Make sure your center support here rotates. Outside should rotate counterclockwise. That feels good. Locks the other. Here's our low reverse clutch pack. And you can see they started to go here at the bottom. This transmission got above 220 degrees and it started to eat these frictions. Yeah, these got some discoloration. Nothing too dramatic. but they definitely got some discoloration here where they've gotten heat. This is our output shaft and lower planetary housing here. There's a snap ring inside of this shell. Shell comes off the top. You can lift this right off the bottom planetary. Now don't wash this, always just hit this with brake cleaner. Do not wash this with any water whatsoever. This carrier bearing is known to fail. Or thrust bearing, whatever you want to call it. That bearing is known to fail. Likewise here, do not wash these bearings, just keep them to the side. And these look pretty good. I don't see any planetaries on their way out. I'll double check these after I wash them. You can wash this, there's no bearing in it. Just not the output shaft planetary. Alright, again, blow this washer off, or this bearing off with brake cleaner only. And you want to get in here and tap this plate down.
Okay.
Alright, up top here is our reverse hub right here, and then this is our reverse clutch. There's a snap ring right here you got to pop off. I like to lay these things out as they come out and put them back in the drum when I'm done. Just so I don't mix anything up. These things can get a little bit confusing. Slowly lift up as you go. Alright, there's your top. Now you can already see a little line in the middle of these here. Looks like the top one got shocked once, and the bottom did too right there. Definitely some heat spots on the reverse clutches. You can pull this hub off, and there's a bearing here. Remember not to wash these. Remember just to spray these off with some brake cleaner. That would be the best thing. Now we've got another snap ring. This is for our Overdrive clutch pack, and I believe this clutch pack is what caused our transmission to malfunction. And I've got the issue that we found in the pump over on my table. I'll show you guys in a second too. That created this issue. These 68 RFEs, man, they can eat your lunch, that's for sure. Alright. Now a lot of times before I even open this up, these clutches will bevel and bend, look like a ukulele almost. So we're going to see if that's what they look like in here.
Whew.
That's smoked. Oh, okay. So that's why it was stuck, because these frictions are welded to this Overdrive hub. Yeah, these won't come off here. We're going to have to smash these off.
There
It's hot. It's welded in here together. You can see that. And when that happens, you're always going to be stuck in going forward, because this clutch pack is always applied here. Like that is applied. Technically, it's applied. So that's why we couldn't get this thing to move at all, because it was stuck in. This is 456. And there's another bearing here. Pull that off. We're going to scrap these. I'm going to scrap all these frictions. Probably scrap that hub too. This snap ring is right here above this Underdrive top plate, and it is extremely, extremely tight. So you've got to get a screwdriver in first and then put another screwdriver in behind the snap ring. That thing right there will eat your newbie lunch. I'm telling you. If you don't know what you're doing and you get down to that, you're not going to get that out. Same thing with down here in these snap rings in the bottom. Absolute difficulty. Alright, let's see what our Underdrive clutch pack looks like here. Hub looks good. Let's pull our bearing off. And let's see if we can lift this plate out. And then there's one more snap ring down here we've got to get out. And these look like they've gotten hot too. The top one looks rough. The ones down here in the bottom don't look too terrible, but from how hot this transmission got, I would not reuse any of those at all, ever. Alright, so I noticed when I took the transmission apart that this pressure regulator valve was stuck open. After the washer and cleaning it, it did free up, but I'm not sure if that was stuck open while the transmission was trying to operate or not. Over here you have your torque converter limit valve, and this limit valve in the bottom here, if you can see, you may not be able to see because it's really, really tight.
No, I can't.
This valve is cocked to the side, and so this has allowed fluid to bypass this valve. Number two, this metal is extremely soft. I don't know if they've updated that to now or not. Maybe I'm just being optimistic, because it seems like a 6 out of 10. So you got this valve down here in the bottom of the limit valve is cocked sideways. Okay, here is our gear body side of our pump, and in here we've got a bunch of scoring from our pump gears, a lot of scoring in here from our pump gears and right here. So I'm thinking that the trash from that Overdrive clutch pack, he continued to try to drive it. The transmission was malfunctioning, creating its own trash anyway, and it eventually got into the pump and took out this gear body here, and you can see how bad this is.
Okay, can you guys see those lines?
Yeah, right in here. I don't know if they make a bushing for that, but that would be a far better design than just straight into this cheap aluminum metal. These 68 REs are not built the best from factory. They really did cheap out. They really, really did. A lot of times this solenoid switch valve, these plugs will go bad. Again, we're talking about cheap metal here in the valve body. This metal is known to wear out over time, and when the metal wears out, there's no pressure built within these valve trains, and the fluid just pisses by. And then you've got pistons applying when they don't need to, or not applying at all. So we're going to put this on the Sonax vacuum tester and see if these plugs work the way they should. And I would say we could do the same to the pump, but unfortunately, like we just went over, this valve down here is cocked to the side, so there's no reason to even test this at all. This is going to have to be just sent in as a core, and customers are going to have a new pump assembly for the 68 RFE for sure.